Xdefiant. Oh, we're all looking forward to this game. It's gonna be great. So yeah, what's going on, guys? And welcome back. Welcome to a new video, a new style. So I played the Xdefiant beta, the second one that's just finished. Finished today at 7 AM this morning UK time. And I've got some thoughts and feelings about it. So yeah, I am very much looking forward to this. Just to give you a bit of a brief background before we jump into anything major. I've been playing FPS games since I was about 6 years old. I'm an FPS gamer. I don't like this new style of COD. I think it's probably the worst era for COD going. The fact that I have put more hours into Advanced Warfare than I have Modern Warfare 2 tells you all you need to know, really. I am not a fan of the way COD's going. So this game was right up my alley. When I saw the trailers for it and all the gameplay, I was like, this is good, like a proper movement-based, no messing about game. It's going to be great. And we'll go into the nitty-gritty in a bit, but I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a background as to where I'm coming from. And, yeah, so you know what page I'm on. So, there wasn't much in the beta, I'll be honest. You know, there was only a handful of weapons, handful of maps. I only played, I think, 3 maps. I played Zoo. I think one was called Aquarium, and then this snow map that you're seeing in the background. There was 5 factions: Cleaners, Phantoms, Libertad, DedSec, and the Splinter Cell faction. I can't remember what that one was called. So there's 5 factions. They all have 2 abilities each and an ultimate. I only played Libertad for the healing, and DedSec, again, in the background, with the little spider drone. It's the only 2 I used. There was 5 grenades, frag, semtex, EMP, maybe a flashbang, and there was another one, but I can't remember what the other one was. I only ended up using grenades anyway. I wasn't too fussed about that. Same goes for the guns. We had 4 assault rifles, 4 SMGs, and I think 2 of everything else. 2 shotguns, 2 LMGs, 2 shotguns, 2 snipers, I think 5 pistols. Again, I used the ACR, I used the M4 a tiny bit, and then I used the MP7 as the SMG. I hadn't touched any of the classes. I only played about 7-8 games. I didn't really get much time. A bit annoying that they released this beta midweek when everyone's working. I don't know why they've done that. Bit stupid, really, in my opinion. It was really silly. Release it on the Friday, end it at midday on a Sunday. I mean, obviously that depended on country and where you are, but I think that would have been a way better idea. Because, yeah, here in the UK, you know, most of us are working long hours. You know, I'm up at 4:30, 5 sometimes. I don't get back home till 5:30, so, you know, I'm out most of the day. By the time I'm back, I can't really be bothered, you know. I just want to sit down, eat, and lie down. I don't want to be like stressing out, especially if you've had a bad day at work. I just think it was really silly. I didn't get to play the first beta. This is I don't know if the first one was a closed beta or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. Silly timing, I think, in my opinion. But hey, let's break down some goods and some bads. So I'll kind of categorize this as like the goods, and then the bads, and then we'll go from there. So the maps that I played 4 maps: Zoo, Meltdown, Midway, and there was another one in the streets, but I didn't play it for long because I started lagging all over the place. There were 3 lanes, so you'd have a left, a right, and a mid. A lot of my games were played on capture the area, capture the zone, and then I played 1 game of domination, which you are seeing in the background. My favourite game, I only played those 2 game modes. My favourite game mode was capture the zones. You know, you had A and B, you had to capture them, you'd move forward, you'd do it again, and then you'd end up at a final point. I really liked that game mode. It was really great. There was 5 game modes in the game, but I didn't touch them. But yeah, capture the zone on these maps, it didn't seem out of balance. You know, I didn't think that attackers had more of an advantage than defenders. I didn't think defenders had more of an advantage of attackers. You know, those games where it's like blatantly one side is better than the other, or one lane is better than the other. All seemed really balanced to me. It all flowed really well. I don't have a problem with the spawns. I didn't spawn on top of anybody or spawn in and take damage immediately. I think there is spawn protection, but it's not that's not. I can't confirm that because I didn't see it. I'm also not good enough to be running around in enemy spawn. The movement around the map, the movement in this game is quite. It's quite quick and also quite slow. So what I'll say is, I'm going to keep getting messages. For instance, if you want to spam slide, you jump, you slide, you jump. The game will eventually penalise you for moving, you know, so quick, or doing the same action over and over again. So it would you'd either just stop on the spot, or you would go really slow and then you just end up crouched. I think that's to stop people that, you know, they can abuse the movement and then just end up jumping all over the place and shredding everybody, I guess. But I personally didn't have a problem with that. I think once you've got the hang of it, it's going to be one of those games where, you know, the guys that are really good at moving around the map and controlling zones and being really good with their placement, it's going to be a great game for you. I'll talk briefly here about the characters because I didn't really get to play very many of them given the time I had. Like I said, I played Libertad healing with the healing ability, and I played DeadSec with the spider bot. Didn't play any other ones. I've seen a lot of people playing the healer. Healers are the best classes in any game ever anyway, so you know that makes sense. And I saw a lot of people playing, I think it was the Sam Fisher faction, where they could cloak and go invisible. It's like active camo from Halo, except this one was really good. I did get killed quite a few times from people I just didn't see. And I know I am getting older, so my eyes aren't what they used to be, and my reflex times aren't what they used to be. But yeah, it seemed very, very hard for me to see them. So whether that's a plus or a negative, I suppose, is up to you. I didn't really see many people playing DeadSec, I'll be honest, but then like the ultimate just was meh. It was like turns any gadgets to your side and gives the enemy like an EMP effect, and it was just like it's a bit meh. So I think some things do need to be balanced, a little bit different. I think a lot of players were playing Libertad healers, so whether they need to rebalance, I mean, I'm sure they'll rebalance it all anyway. When they see the graphs for all the classes and the factions played, and they see Libertad is like all the way up the top, I'm sure they'll balance and change things. But for the most part, I love the aesthetic. I love the way they all look. They all look great. You could pick different characters, which I'm guessing is just like a skin, because it didn't actually change anything. You could pick what ability you wanted. Didn't matter what character you were. But yeah, they all look great. And I imagine down the line we're going to get a load more factions from all of the future and previous, you know, Tom Clancy games. You know, that kind of Ubisoft world. You know, there's Rainbow Six, there's Division, there's 3 or 4 factions in Division that they haven't touched. That world is massive. There's a billion different classes and factions they can use, which is going to be great. Ties on to like adding weapons into the game. There's going to be, I don't know, I could see seasons and seasons worth of, I don't know, if they had 2 factions a season or a faction a season and 2-3 weapons a season, this game can be like proper good. So yeah, I don't have an issue with the aesthetic and the feel of the characters and the classes. I think they need to be rebalanced a little bit. But all in all, not bad for a beta. Now on to the guns. What do I think about the guns? Like I said, in the beta we only had a limited amount of these guns anyway. There wasn't what I hope is the full arsenal when we get the full game. And with it being a free-to-play game, I would imagine there will be a lot of stuff added in the future. But like I said at the start, I didn't get to use all of them. I only used a select few. I used primarily the ACR because the ACR is one of my all-time favourite assault rifles in any game ever. I loved it in Modern Warfare 3 back in the day with suppressor, and I can't remember what the other attachment I used to use back in the day was. Maybe Red Dot, for those of you that remember Modern Warfare 2 way back in the day. The game that was better than Modern Warfare 2, the original, by the way. Just like to fire shots. But yeah, I love the ACR, so that was a gun I used a lot. I did use the M4 a little bit. I didn't get to touch the M16 or the AK. And for SMGs, I only used the MP7 and a little bit of the P90 and the Vector, very, very briefly. They all feel great. The animations for all of them are great. I didn't have any issues with that. The weapon attachment system was great as well. It was all unlocked straight away, which I'm hoping is just because of the beta, because I don't know, I think it would be a little bit too easy if all the attachments were just unlocked from the start. I don't actually know how the game is going to have their progression system, whether you just unlock guns as you level up and that's it, done. But in the beta, everything was unlocked. Whether stuff carries over from the beta, I'm not sure, like I said, but everything was unlocked. So we had all the attachments that we could have. You could have 4 attachments and a sight, so you could have 5, plus a skin. But there wasn't any skins in the beta, so it didn't let me. It obviously didn't let me equip one if we didn't have one. They all feel great. The only issue I had with the gunplay, and it's gonna slightly cross over into the negatives I'll have in a minute. For someone like me who doesn't have the best Wi-Fi, the best internet in the world, a lot of the hit reg from these weapons wasn't the best. A lot of the times you would be hearing the shots hitting the enemy and they just will not take damage. They just stand there and look at you. I'll throw up some different bits here and there to so you can see what I'm talking about. And I guess, like I said, we'll cross on to the negatives now. So I'll be honest, the negatives, there's not many. There is not many. Like I said, I really did enjoy my time with this. And I'm hoping it's just little tweaks that can be made to make this a much better experience. But like I said at the start of the video, or somewhere during this video, I'm a bit all over the place with this. This is the first time I've done this kind of style. My Wi-Fi, my internet is pretty shit. I do not have the best internet in the world. It's annoying. I'll lag when there's no one in the house. It makes no sense. And it's really, really frustrating. So I can't imagine I'm the only one that has, you know, not the best Wi-Fi. And this game, it's not, you don't just ping, you freeze on the spot for 20-30 seconds sometimes. And I mean, I would imagine that my Wi-Fi is not so bad to the point where it would lock me in place for that long. I mean, that is pretty game breaking. You know, I literally cannot play the game. Sometimes it would be longer and I just get kicked. I mean, I must have left 3 or 4 of those games just because it wouldn't let me get out of my spawn. It wouldn't let me move. You're not able to do anything. You can't move. You can shoot. It counts your ammo down, but you end up freezing on the spot. It was very, 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 very strange. Sometimes weapons would just disappear off the floor in front of me. You know, I'd go to pick up someone's gun and it just wouldn't kill me. It just wouldn't pick it up. It just would disappear. Hit reg, like I said during the weapons part, it's a little bit strange. Sometimes you will literally hear the sound of shots hitting the enemy and they just take 0 damage. I'm not sure if there is an ability on one of the characters. If there is, I would hope not, because that's silly. But yeah, I have been killed quite a few times just because the enemy did not take any damage from my bullets. It was very, very strange. And another one I encountered was when I was changing my class. I was sorting out some attachments while I was matchmaking, and one of the attachments just didn't have it wouldn't load. It just bugged out, and it would not load the attachment on the screen. It was a stock, and I'd put it on, and it just wouldn't put it on. It was strange. It was the only attachment I had, and I'm pretty sure it didn't affect the actual weapon itself in game. But when I was going through the arsenal bit, the loadout, it just wouldn't load up the attachment for some reason. And finally, it's when the first game I played, the load time was over 3.5 minutes. Now, I would imagine it may have been internet related. I'm not 100% sure. But I was literally sitting in the menus for about 3 minutes and 42 seconds, and it just wasn't finding me again. I don't know if that's Wi-Fi related. I don't know if that's beta related. I'm not sure. It's not game breaking. It's just, you know, I would imagine the servers are quite chocker at the moment, and yeah, it just took forever to get a game. Like I said, I don't know if that's a bug. Slightly irritating though. And yeah, that is that. All in all, like I said, I really enjoyed my time with this. I have basically zero complaints, other than them ones. I'm hoping that ping gets sorted, because that one was like the worst. It was the most annoying, because I couldn't do anything. It was very strange. But I really enjoy the factions. This kind of style of game is something that speaks to me, because I think more people should do this. You know, they should make a Halo game where all of the games are just combined into one, and you can just do what you want with them. Same goes for Gears of War. Same goes for Call of Duty. I've said this about Call of Duty Zombies for a long time. Why don't they just release a standalone Zombies game, and it's got all of the maps, all of the guns, blah 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 blah, and then you would make something come out on, like, so say you have to own, say Black Ops 5 comes out, right? They have Call of Duty Zombies. Black Ops 5 comes out. If you want the Black Ops 5 stuff, you have to own Black Ops 5 on your account for that stuff to transfer onto the game. Stuff like that. Like I said, this is a Ubisoft / Tom Clancy game. There's millions of them. They can literally add so many things into this game. It's going to be ridiculous. I would imagine in a few months or years' time, when we're looking back at it, it's going to be quite a round game. So yeah, that is that. If you played the beta, let me know down below. If you have any tips or any thoughts and opinions on this style of video, let me know. I'm currently thinking about doing a review channel where I sit down and properly script my reviews, and I'll properly go in depth with analysis and stuff like that. Something I'm really thinking about. It's getting really hot in this room. So let me know if any of you would watch that. Obviously this was a beta video and I haven't scripted it, and I'm just going off the cusp because I don't have time to script it, and I wanted it out as soon as. But yeah, anything, let me know down below. If there's anything I said in the video that you know the answer to, maybe you know anything about maybe the ping, let me know, because I don't know anything about the technical side of stuff like that. There is no release date yet that I'm aware of. I think all I've heard is summer, late summer, which could be next week, could be next month, could be 3 months away. I'm not sure. I think the beta went smooth enough, and this beta came out way better than some of the full AAA games have come out recently. So yeah, the less we say about that, the better. But yeah, with that, it has been your boy. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like down below and subscribe. Like I said, leave a comment anywhere. I do read all my comments. Links to all of my social medias are in the description box down below. It has been your boy, and I'll see you in the next one.